Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Worthy of religious veneration. The sacred name of Jesus. Made or declared or believed to be holy, devoted to a deity or some religious ceremony or use. The sacred mosque. Concerned with religion or religious purposes. Sacred texts. Often followed by to, devoted exclusively to a single use or purpose or person. A fund sacred to charity. Worthy of respect or dedication. Saw motherhood as woman's sacred calling. Worthy of religious veneration. Jerusalem's hallowed soil. Made or declared or believed to be holy, devoted to a deity or some religious ceremony or use. A consecrated church. Solemnly dedicated to or set apart for a high or sacred purpose. A life consecrated to science. Made or declared or believed to be holy, devoted to a deity or some religious ceremony or use. Sanctified wine. A sacred place of pilgrimage. Belonging to or derived from or associated with a divine power. Emanating from God. Divine judgment. Appropriate to or befitting a god. The divine strength of Achilles. Being of such surpassing excellence as to suggest inspiration by the gods. Her pies were simply divine. A clergyman or other person in religious orders. Resulting from divine providence. Being or having the nature of a god. The custom of killing the divine king upon any serious failure of his powers. Terms referring to the Judeo-Christian God. Devoted to or in the service or worship of a deity. Divine worship. Perceive intuitively or through some inexplicable perceptive powers. Search by divining, as if with a rod. He claimed he could divine underground water. A prejudice, especially in Polynesia and other South Pacific islands, that prohibits the use or mention of something because of its sacred nature. An inhibition or ban resulting from social custom or emotional aversion. Excluded from use or mention. Forbidden to profane use, especially in South Pacific islands. Too sacred to be uttered. Too sacred to be uttered. Defying expression or description. Unspeakable happiness. Exceptionally bad or displeasing. An unspeakable odor came sweeping into the room. Too sacred to be uttered. Defying expression or description. Unutterable contempt. Very difficult to pronounce correctly. Unutterable consonant clusters. Too sacred to be uttered. The ineffable name of the deity. Defying expression or description. Ineffable ecstasy. Imparting a divine influence on the mind and soul. Immune to attack. Incapable of being tampered with. Fortifications that made the frontier inviolable. Must be kept sacred. Not capable of being violated or infringed. Incapable of being transgressed or dishonored. The person of the king is inviolable. Must be kept sacred. Of a woman, having the hymen unbroken. evincing the presence of a deity. A numinous wood. Of or relating to or characteristic of a numen. Resembling something that is religious. Concerned with sacred matters or religion or the church. Religious texts. A member of a religious order who is bound by vows of poverty and chastity and obedience. Extremely scrupulous and conscientious. Religious in observing the rules of health. Having or showing belief in and reverence for a deity. A religious man. Of or relating to clergy bound by monastic vows. The religious or regular clergy conducts the service. Worthy of adoration or reverence. A member of the clergy and a spiritual leader of the Christian Church. A title of respect for a clergyman. Of or relating to sacred rites. Sacral laws. Of or relating to or near the sacrum. Must be kept sacred. A kind of religious song originated by blacks in the southern United States. Concerned with sacred matters or religion or the church. Lords temporal and spiritual. Resembling or characteristic of a phantom. Spiritual tappings at a séance. Concerned with or affecting the spirit or soul. A spiritual approach to life. Lacking material body or form or substance. Spiritual beings. Change or cause to change directly from a solid into a vapor without first melting. Sublime iodine. Inspiring awe. The sublime beauty of the night. Worthy of adoration or reverence. Greatest or maximal in degree, extreme. The sublime absurdity of the creative process. Vaporize and then condense right back again. Of high moral or intellectual value, elevated in nature or style. Lifted up or set high. Their hearts were jocund and sublime. A prejudice, especially in Polynesia and other South Pacific islands, that prohibits the use or mention of something because of its sacred nature. An inhibition or ban resulting from social custom or emotional aversion. Excluded from use or mention. A taboo subject. Forbidden to profane use, especially in South Pacific islands. Declare as sacred and forbidden. Solemnly dedicated to or set apart for a high or sacred purpose. A chapel dedicated to the dead of World War II. Devoted to a cause or ideal or purpose. A dedicated dancer. Worthy of being chosen especially as a spouse. An important, honorable person, word is often used humorously. Having qualities or abilities that merit recognition in some way. Behavior worthy of reprobation. Having worth or merit or value. Being honorable or admirable. A worthy fellow. Give entirely to a specific person, activity, or cause. Consecrate your life to the church. Dedicate to a deity by a vow. Render holy by means of religious rites. Appoint to a clerical posts. Solemnly dedicated to or set apart for a high or sacred purpose. A life consecrated to science. Relating to or inhabiting a divine heaven. Heavenly hosts. Of or relating to the sky. A heavenly body. Of or belonging to heaven or God. Having or showing or expressing reverence for a deity. Pious readings.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.